Hey everybody, it's hwsteele, and this is the first video of the series of videos I'm doing this year, which of course is 2024. All this year, the videos I'm going to be releasing are going to be basic information about trading. In this video, our first video of this series, I'm going to be talking about the trading plan and how important it is to, well, it's probably the most basic thing when it comes to trading, or it should be the most basic thing. Anyway, I want to remind everybody I have a new YouTube channel called hwsteele Classics. I'll leave a link to that in the description of this video, or you can just on YouTube look up hwsteele Classics and that channel will come up. So all of my old videos will eventually be migrating to that channel over the course of this year. So if you can't find one of the videos you've seen before, then they're on that channel now. And also want to remind everybody that is taking the monthly video membership series or interested in it, that series is still available, even though I'm not really doing any new videos this year at least on this channel concerning the more esoteric things like WD GAN. So let's go ahead and get to the contents of this video, which is, well, I'm going to talk a little bit about the trading plan. If you're actually trying to be good at trading and be successful, you're going to have to treat trading like a business. And if you're making a business out of anything, you want to have a business plan, and trading is no different. So your trading plan is really your trading business plan, if you want to be honest about it. Now, everybody's plan does not have to look the same, but there are going to be some aspects of a trading plan that are pretty much going to be universal. Your trading plan might be simple, it might be more complex, it just depends on your personality and what you're trying to trade and all that stuff. So let's look at some of the stuff that you should be considering when making a trading plan. One of the first things you should be considering is which markets you want to trade. You might want to only trade futures or only trade stocks or Forex or, Bitcoin for that matter. You might want to trade a bunch of different markets. Well, that kind of information needs to be included in your trading plan, which markets you want to trade. One thing to keep in mind is anytime you change your business plan, you need to have a very good reason for changing it. Take your time to create the business plan, then refine the business plan, and then once you have that business plan / trading plan, which is basically the same thing if you want to treat trading like a business, once you have that solidified, you don't want to just change it willy-nilly. You want to have a very good reason for changing it. So, like I said, you want to look at what kind of markets you want to trade. You also want to look at which system are you using to trade this market. Now notice I have a little asterisk right there. Your systems, which might be something as simple as a moving average crossover or breaking support and resistance, or it could be more complex like Elliott wave or GAN theory or anything like that. Each of your systems needs to have its own little plan. You need to have your system laid out and described. That way, when you are creating your trading plan, you can plug the system plan you want to use for whichever market you want to trade or markets. You can plug that into your trading plan. So in other words, your system plans should be standalone little plans describing how that particular system works and functions. And then when you create a trading plan, you plug your system plan or system plans. You can use more than one, obviously. You plug that into your trading plan. Now, another thing we want to look at here is which time frame you want to be looking at or trading from. It's very possible that this aspect of the plan right here will be inside of one of the system plans, so you won't necessarily have to include it separately in your trading plan. But if your system plans are very simple, like maybe you just describe a moving average crossover and that's it, which is fine, then you'll have to have this kind of information, like the time frame, whether you want to trade on a daily chart or an hourly chart, or look at a daily chart first to help you make decisions on an hourly chart or maybe a 5-minute chart. That kind of information is going to need to be in your trading plan if it isn't in each of the system plans. Another very important thing you need to have in your trading plan is how to define risk for each trade. Now, this means several things actually. First off, you need to determine how much money you can afford to lose or you're willing to lose if your trade goes against you. In other words, if you lose the trade. But you can also define your risk in a number of different ways. You can define it as a percentage of your account that you're willing to risk. You can define it as a specific amount of money that you're willing to risk, a percentage that you're willing to risk, or any number of different parameters can be used. But it needs to be inserted into your trading plan if it's not already part of your system plan. So this could be, in theory, part of your system plan. In other words, the way you define risk and how much risk you're willing to take for each trade could be inside of your system plans, in which case you don't have to necessarily specifically define it in your trading plan. But if it's not part of your system plan, then obviously it's going to have to be part of your trading plan separately. So once you've done this, you need to do something else, which is recording each of your trades. And there's a number of different ways to record your trades. You might keep it in a ledger. You might keep a notebook and just keep all the information from the trade. You might do it electronically, like with Excel, or I'm sure there's a number of different programs that they sell out there where you can record your trading information. It's also a possibility that you just use a screen capture recording software and literally record yourself trading. Record the chart as it's happening, where your entry is, where your exit is, and all that kind of stuff. And the next thing you need to do is once a trade has ended, you need to review that trade. This is one of the big reasons you have to record your trades in one form or fashion or another, but reviewing your trade is extremely important because you need to do several things in that review. You need to make sure that your behavior during that trade was 100% in line with your trading system and your trading plan. And if it was, then that's a good thing. But then the next step after that is you have to determine whether or not it was a successful trade. So in other words, you're determining whether or not you're following your rules like you're supposed to. If you do, good. If you don't, then you need to determine where you didn't follow the rules and correct that. And you also need to determine how successful your rules are at capturing good trades. You might follow your rules perfectly, but after reviewing a number of trades, realize that you're losing 60 or 70% of the trades. And in that case, you definitely need to stop trading and look at your system and or your trading plan and make sure that it's better than losing 6 or 7 out of 10 times. And of course, we need to remember to treat this as a business. You have to give it respect. If you're not willing to do that, if you're not willing to take the time to sit down and write out a trading plan and write out a system plan for each of the systems that you're going to use. If you're not willing to do that, then you shouldn't be trading, because this is the most fundamental thing about trading is planning what you're going to do under which set of circumstances and writing all this kind of stuff out. And of course, the things that I have listed here isn't all that can go into a trading plan. You can put a lot more into a trading plan if you want to. These are just several of the basics that you should be looking to put into your trading plan and or system plans here. But it's definitely extremely important to treat this like a business. If you want to be making money from this consistently, long term, you're going to have to put some foundational effort in. And one of the most foundational things you can do is creating your trading plan and then your system plans. And then last but not least, we see more information is better. Now, what I mean by that is, for instance, when you're recording each trade, the more information you can give, like where you entered, when you entered, what time of day it was, what size of position it was, all that kind of information, the more of that you put into your recording of each trade, the better it's going to be. Now, I put an asterisk there because it's entirely possible to record too much information. You might be the type of person where you actually spend 2 hours recording all the aspects of a particular trade, and that might be too much information. But for the most part, for most people, the way most people behave, they don't give themselves enough time to record all the information they should. So in most cases, more information is better. So this is the most fundamental thing that you can do, writing out a trading plan. If you're not willing to do this, you shouldn't be trading. It's just that simple. You can have a very simple trading plan and a very simple system plan in the beginning. You don't have to make it hugely complex, but make sure that it gives the information that you need it to give. You need to paper trade with that plan for a while. In doing that, it's going to help you understand whether or not you have every aspect of trading actually covered in the trading plan. You might discover that you didn't properly take account for some aspect of trading that you didn't think about before. Well, paper trading that, your systems and your trading plan, it's going to help you understand what you might need to add to it. After you've done that and you've finalized your trading plan, you can move to actually trading with real money in a small account, because in all honesty, paper trading is important for figuring out the mechanics of your systems and your trading plan. But once all that's figured out, you should really be trading with a small amount of real money, because it changes the way you behave emotionally. Then after that's a success, trading with small amounts of real money, then you need to move to trading to larger sizes where you're actually able to make an income or increase the size of your accounts. So that's going to be it for this first video here. The importance of a trading plan for your trading and treating trading like a business cannot be overstated. You need to make a trading plan, period. There's no way around that. It's, in my opinion, pretty much the most fundamental thing about trading when you actually want to be successful at trading is creating your trading plans and your system plans. Now that I've covered the basics of this trading plan idea here in this first video, there's not going to be a second video this week because I didn't really cover anything to look at in the market specifically. Next week, I'm going to look at some very basics about support and resistance. So in the first video next week, I'm going to talk about these very basics. And then in the second video, I'm actually going to look at the market in a live setting and record 30 minutes to maybe an hour of the support and resistance on probably a 1-minute chart, something like that, so that we can see the actual, what I'm going to be talking about in the first video, we can see it in action in the second video. So until next week, this is hwsteele, and I'll talk to you later.